Welcome to Austin, Texas for the running event, TRE. We're at the Austin Convention Center where thousands of people are gathered here to see top brands in the running and outdoor space. They all congregate here every year for this event. So FloTrack will be on site throughout the days of this convention, seeing all top brands, up-and-coming brands, specialty products from across the industry, talking to them about their technology and what we're looking forward to see in 2024. So we're gonna go on inside and check them out right now. Let's go. I'm Ryan Fenton here with Joanna Greshel, and we are with the great team at Brooks, Nia Akins, Josh Kerr, Nikhil Jan, and here to talk the Hyperion Elite and the new line that's out in 2024. Guys, what's the excitement here in Austin this week, bringing this here to the conference?
Yeah, I mean, this is the first time we're unveiling the Hyperion Elite collection as well as our Hyperion Inline collection. As you can see, we've got this great color story that's inspired by the Paris Olympics. And that's going to go from the product on your feet all the way to the apparel, so a lovely head-to-toe story. And it's a culmination of a lot of work working with Josh, Nia, the Beast, the Mavericks, and a lot of insights, bring that into with technologies, a cool story, and yeah, unveiling it for the first time in Austin at the running event.
I'd love to start by learning a little bit more about what, for both of you, your weekly shoe rotation looks like for your different types of runs.
Yeah, so for normal training runs, I'm usually in the Glycerins, and then for workouts, if I'm on the road, I'm in the Tempos, and then if I'm on the track, I am in these right here, the Hyperion MDs.
So I'm slightly different. I'll go still on the Glycerins. I'll then go straight to the Hyperion Max 2s for the majority of my training. I think it's less aggressive than, say, the Hyperion Elite 4. So you can kind of put a lot of miles in there with them, and it's still light and you know, it's still fast enough to handle most of the stuff. But then I'll move on to like the Hyperion Elite 4s for if I was running kind of some faster tempo miles or something where we're really starting to put the foot down a little bit. I'll then jump in these, and then I'll be in the LDs for kind of any faster track work. If it's a horrible day out there and you want to have a bit more traction as well. But especially come summertime, we're going to be in these a little bit more as well. So I'm more of an LD guy than an MD guy, but so our shoe rotations are pretty different.
And the Max, that's this one. When do you put that on versus just the Glycerin?
So I think I wouldn't session in a Glycerin. I would always session in something in the Hyperion line. I think there's an element of, even like when you're talking about the colorway, just putting something faster on if it's a session. But what the Hyperion Max brings, I think, is a little bit more cushion, a little bit more like we're running a bit slower, we're putting a bit slower miles in, but so we don't need to worry too much about can the shoe handle the speed. That's kind of where my go-to is there. So the fall's a great example for that. Jumping on the roads and getting something that's slightly less aggressive, but still can put some speed in there.
Talking about working with the team, Nikhil's team, I think to most runners, like JoJo and myself, we'll never have the direct line to say, hey, I really need you to really work on this for me. We'll maybe go to a local running store, and we get fitted, those kind of things. But this is like a unique process that really elites and professionals are the only ones that have access to that. And so I'm curious to understand what that's like. Nikhil, for you, that feedback has got to be a gift to create this kind of product, but I'm sure it also comes with challenges.
Yeah, I mean, look, it's an amazing part of the process. I will say that at Brooks, we kind of start with the runner. Obviously the racing product starts with the elite athlete, but our everyday running product starts with everyday runners. And so, we stick to that same process. I'd say the difference is, we start off with insights, and it's the same whether we're doing in-home interviews with, runners, everyday runners globally, or we're actually in our athletes' homes or they're at HQ or on the road or virtually. But the difference is that we then work closely with them over months and years. We're getting a lot of kind of feedback, and that's that iterative process which really benefits us. The challenge is a good challenge because they do challenge us, and that's what we need. We've asked them to be brutal and super critical because with that, we can really kind of fine tune it down to the millimeter.
What's that like for you guys? You're going into a session, and today's a test day essentially for a new product. Does that throw the mental aspect off a little bit because you're having to get ready for this hard session, but also like, man, I hope these shoes work?
Yeah, I think the first round of the spikes especially, I think maybe fall last year in Seattle? We did it in Seattle anyway, and they came with all these boxes and it was raining and we were like, and then they unveiled these versus our old spikes and we were all looking at each other like, I really hope this works. Like, I really, really hope this works because it's a big leap from where we were before, and I'm not saying that it like really needed it, but like this has been such a step up for us. I think anything in the footwear world in the past 4 or 5 years has just blown up, and I think like Nikhil was saying, we weren't exactly playing catch up, but I think we had a lot of ways to get better. And yeah, for testing day, it's the footwear department have all these mental cameras and like all these different things that we're trying to do, and then we have all these questions. And to be honest, I don't know if it's the same for you. When I'm speaking, I'm like, there's no way that this is like feedback that they're going to be able to work with, because like I don't even know what I'm saying. Like I'm not a nerd when it comes to this stuff. Like, so I don't know all the words, like all the kind of buzzwords for them. And so, yeah, it's like, oh, this is sticky, or this is like, I'm like, what am I saying? Like none of this makes any sense. But, they're able to kind of decipher that and try and find what I'm actually trying to say, and then get that into the product.
It's cool because we, like, I don't know, once you put on your spikes at the beginning of the year, you just kind of like get used to them. Like you don't really think about them, whether you like them or you don't, to be honest. So I feel like when we wear tested these in the fall, like you guys had us bring our own spikes and our old spikes or whatever we wore in college, and we just kind of like did a few strides in all of the different spikes that we had, and these were by far, I think, the overall favorite of everybody. And I think I know I like them, but to hear like somebody that like, I don't know, like my training partner was a little bit more like 8'15", and like she really liked these shoes, just kind of like spoke volumes to kind of like, I don't know, the versatility of the shoe itself, even though it is like specifically a mid-D shoe. So, because I'm more like 8'4", so yeah.
And Nia, you mentioned you usually wouldn't really be able to wear spikes during the fall season, but this year you have been able to with these. Why is that? Is the recovery different? Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, I just like am prone to like a few kind of like ankle injuries. Like I usually get them at the end of the season, like all the time in college. And this year, or last year, honestly, I started wearing these shoes a little earlier than normal. And it's usually from just like being in spikes, my like calves and stuff just get really beat up. And it's harder to recover off of that. But this year I put these on pretty early, and they're just a lot more supportive than any other spike that I've worn in the past. So I've been able to do longer workouts in these spikes, no problem, and like just start training in spikes earlier than normal. So this year, like I've already started training in these, which is pretty exciting, to be honest. So.
Yeah, it's really interesting. I mean, both of you are in events that have maybe 3 rounds at championships, and so is that a consideration too of, when you're even making the spike of like, okay, how will this shoe help athletes recover for that next round?
Yeah, I mean, again, you just nailed it in terms of like, I think you talked about super shoes, and I'd say super spikes, the recovery element that these new foams are bringing to the athletes, it's allowing them to, whether it's, like different number of rounds and having them in close proximity to each other, or even like training sessions, where you're going, you got a Tuesday session, then you're going to come back and have another hard session on Friday, and the foams are, they displace more, they respond better, they protect, and they're more comfortable, and all of that really is making a big difference for the athletes. And so, knowing that and hearing that coming from the athletes, and that they need the product to be able to deliver, has allowed us to really kind of maximize the amount of foam that we've used on these spikes. And one of the ways we've done it, which is super cool, is where we've integrated the foam with the plates by kind of punching through the plate and having the foam come through. And so we're maximizing the amount of foam, and it integrates and works extremely well with the carbon composite plates, both on the LD as well as the MD. And that's something that we're hoping to start bringing to other parts of our line, and that helps in recovery, but it doesn't take away from performance, whether it's training sessions or on race day. Hearing that they're in spikes more is also something that we were hoping that they would be able to get to, because the more they're in spikes, but they're comfortable in spikes and they're not getting injured or worrying about getting injured, it's all cumulative. And so you start building this foundation and you get stronger and stronger, and that helps go faster as well. So.
Well, thank you so much for being here, walking through these shoes with us, telling us about the experiences and everything to get here. We're excited for these to come out in 2024, and I got to run these this morning. Jojo, you missed it, so you got them on now. You're ready to go.
I'm going to go this afternoon.
Well, thanks for being here, guys. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
We're here with JT Newcomb from Adidas, talking shoes, talking 2024, and what you guys have coming to launch. Actually, tomorrow.
Tomorrow.
What do we got?
So tomorrow we are kicking off a totally new chapter of the Supernova story. So Supernova has meant everyday running at Adidas since 1997. When we're at our best, when we're really building and growing our relationship with everyday runners especially, Supernova is our flagship daily training line. We're reinventing that and starting a new chapter behind a new flagship in Supernova Rise. This will be our new hero model for the franchise going forward. It's a new trainer we're really excited about, a daily driver kind of shoe that's really built for normal runners, people who go out and run 1, 2, 3 times a week. I think people who are deeply passionate, 7-day-a-week runners training for marathons are going to find a place in their rotation. It's like a recovery shoe, shakeout shoe. But really with like normal people in mind who use running to make their lives better, this shoe is custom built around them. So what we did is start with who we wanted to build, what we wanted to do, who we wanted to build for, and then what they would ask for. We cleared the table 2 years ago. We knew that where we were in everyday running wasn't great. We've been doing cool things in racing, right? Adizero, fast running footwear, really great stuff. But we needed to reset this relationship. So first we asked ourselves where we wanted to start. And what we wanted to do was keep runners running and inspire more people to become runners. With that, we then went to our audience, and what we did was we started with a survey of 1,300 women runners in North America specifically and asked, what do you need to keep running, to feel like that's what you've got in your shoes? What came back was balance, comfort, and support. Do those two things together, not one or the other, balance those things. So then we set out to build a shoe around delivering those two things and introduced new technologies to deliver against that.
So I'm getting my, some mileage in, my extra, some runs in with this, but as I'm getting fit, I'm getting excited, I'm getting a little fast,
Yeah.
I start thinking. And you mentioned you've been doing some cool things with fast
Yeah.
at Adidas. So is there something real cool that you want to talk about?
Yeah, I would love to talk about real cool. Maybe let's jump all the way from the comfortable and easy end of the spectrum to right down into crazy train territory, and talk a little bit about the Adidas Adizero Adios Pro Evo 1. And like I said, cool things in this space.
Very cool, very cool. I've seen this. I think I've seen this on TV. Is that right?
You've seen it on TV, but experiencing it is something different, isn't it?
It's a bit scary to hold this thing. I did a little research. Is this 4.8 ounces?
4.86 ounces.
Very, very light. Very light. I mean, I can't even imagine. So tell us about this thing.
This shoe is essentially it's a concept car as much as anything. It's a prototype that people were able to buy into in a small way, that normal runners were able to participate in. But this is a prototype. In reality, we started with where we've been with the Adios Pro. Really great shoe we're really happy with. We've been working towards updating it, what's the next thing, but didn't unlock what the next big move on was yet. So we went into the dark room and set to work on stripping down to nothing. If you think about like an F1 car, like optimized to be the fastest thing in the world that 20 of the world's best drivers will drive for a race, and it has nothing else, no extra comfort, nothing, just to go as fast as you can. That's where we went to with Evo, and needed to unpack some new technologies, some new manufacturing processes even, to deliver on all of the benefits of a super shoe in a 138 gram, 4.9 ounce package, and really excited to see something that came out and worked.
So when we're talking foam, we're talking what's in the shoe that we can't see. What do we have?
So first thing that you can see, and the really special engine of the shoe, is this version of Lightstrike Pro. The shoe is powered by Lightstrike Pro, like Adios Pro 1, but made a little bit differently. We have a special non-compression molding process, which saves weight. That's the biggest benefit. You're able to retain all of the energy benefits that you have in the supercritical foam already, but dramatically shave down that weight, and that's the first big unlock. The second thing is the geometry of it, and that connects to the energy rods, which there are energy rods in here, made the same way as our Adios Pro energy rods, but in a different geometry, set up differently. The big key unlock was studying the optimum placement of the rocker point in the shoe, where the toe spring begins. And what we came to from testing with athletes was moving back from a 70% position to a 60% position for the start of that toe spring helps get you up onto the ball of your foot faster, get you up on your big toe faster into a more aggressive running position. The new rods mimic that shape and help to propel you there faster and more aggressively as well.
I turn this over, you see the shine off the light, and I'm wondering what, when I saw this, I was like, what is that?
What's the deal? Yeah. So something completely new, never done before. This poured liquid rubber goes on so thin that we're able to optimize for weight. Still providing great traction, but optimized for weight in a way that, a normal molded rubber is a big part of the weight on any shoe. And just stripping that away to nothing, again, gets us to that magic place where optimized for weight, optimized for your race.
Well, JT, thanks so much for walking us through this. We look forward to the launch tomorrow for you guys with the Supernova, and I'm looking forward to watching people in this shoe.
Me too.
I think that's a better chance than having it on my foot.
Yeah, same for me, and I work here.
Unless it goes missing, and then you might know where it went.
I'm in trouble.
Well, thanks so much.
Real pleasure. Thank you so very much for your time.
Great. All right, we're on the floor with Paul Zielinski from New Balance, and I'm thirsty here. What do we got? What do we got?
This is always the most fun for us to actually sit down, talk about all the things that have been in works for the last 18 months, 24 months. Some shoes have been even longer than that, which is wild to think about. So finally able to talk about some of these is really exciting for us. I think for me, especially right now, I'm really excited to talk about a brand new innovation, a brand new version 1 in Fresh Foam X for us. Fresh Foam X as a platform is a place that houses so many of our daily training shoes, really nice, comfortable experiences with amazing uppers and fit. But for the very first time, we're going to be able to talk about a brand new innovation in Fresh Foam X with the Fresh Foam X Balos V1. So it's a totally new experience for our brand and the Fresh Foam X platform. It's going to house a PIBA and EVA blended midsole for the very first time. I've described it as a unadulterated running experience for someone who wants a super shoe trainer. Really amazing bounce, super responsive, high energy return, and a super comfortable everyday training shoe.
I see some more Fresh Foam.
Let's talk more Fresh Foam, and I think this is the shoe with the most Fresh Foam. Talk a little bit about the Fresh Foam X More V5, and I wasn't kidding when I said kind of the most Fresh Foam. And so I think especially for you watching at home, looking at this visual on the sidewall, this almost turns Fresh Foam X and turns it up to 11 in some way. Working with our team back in Boston, we really wanted to provide something that was visually comfortable, so that way when you were looking at this shoe, whether it was on your foot, it was at a store, it was online, you go, whoa, I think that thing is going to feel incredible on foot. But most importantly, it has to feel incredible as well. So this really represents our max comfort environment shoe for someone that's looking for just the utmost amount of comfort and cushion that a shoe in the Fresh Foam X family can provide.
Nice. So is this long miles on this thing? Is this every day? Is it, what are we talking?
Yeah, absolutely. I like to really talk about this shoe as an amazing recovery device, as a shoe that you're going to run every day. And if you just love tons of plush cushioning underfoot, I like to talk about product in some way, like having shoes in your toolbox. What are you doing today? What do you need that shoe to provide for you? And I think the More is a great shoe for someone that wants an everyday training shoe with the most amount of cushion. They want something that's really built for their recovery miles. They want to feel their best before they go for their next run. They want to feel their best after their run. So I really think of it as a way to freshen up your body and wear something that's just uber comfortable.
But now it looks like we're moving on from Fresh Foam. We got two others, like the colors. What do we got here?
Yeah, I think what's really awesome about our brand is that we have two different platforms that allows for us to provide two different unique platform experiences. We spent so much time talking about daily training and soft and comfortable shoes when it comes to Fresh Foam X. Fuel Cell is an amazing platform for us to house new innovations, new race day solutions, and tools to help athletes perform their very best, whether they're running 2 hours for a marathon or if they're running 5 hours or frankly trying to run their very first 5K. So in Fuel Cell, it houses so many of our track spikes that our athletes like Sydney McLaughlin and Jake Whiteman have won world gold medals in across multiple world championships. But it also houses training shoes like the brand new SuperComp Trainer V3. Fuel Cell SuperComp Trainer V3 is bringing the ideas of carbon-plated products into a training environment. So the benefits of a carbon-plated shoe allows for us to stiffen up the midsole, pair it with really high energy return, and then also just have something that you can wear more often, especially for long runs. It pairs really nicely with your everyday or with your race day products so that you have a similar feel that you can wear whether on your long run and then pair it up with your race day whenever that comes down the road.
I'm feeling faster as we go down the line. Should I be? Is that what?
You should be. We're gonna save the best for last. Maybe we'll save the fastest for last, right? So very excited about what will be coming with the brand new Fuel Cell SuperComp Elite V4. So brand new Fuel Cell SuperComp V4 is gonna bring a 100% Puma midsole to Fuel Cell for the very first time. It's our highest energy return fuel cell material we've ever created. So just helping marathon athletes compete their very best. Again, whether you're running 2 hours, 5 hours, running your very first marathon, every runner can benefit from these amazing new materials.
Paul, we really appreciate you talking us through all these. This is really exciting.
Yeah,
Looking forward to 24 for you guys.
You're very welcome. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, great. All right, so Kim Overton, founder, CEO, Spybelt, local Austin company. What's it like to have the running event come to our town and you get to just post up and show everyone your goods?
It kind of makes sense, you know, when they brought this here, first started about 16, 17 years ago. It's just like, this is the perfect city for running. So it made sense that it grew here and people come to Austin and run on the beautiful hike and bike trail. It all works. So it feels like home. It's home.
What do we got here?
We have the crossbody. Everyone knows what these are about. And what's crazy is we've been making crossbodies for years, Ryan, and dang. And it's good to get some out with our flair. So this has been a big one for the folks here visiting our booth who are used to seeing the small personal item belt. It's still small personal item, but it's more of a lifestyle bag. So we've got our own version of those.
Can I take this guy?
Sure.
So this is like cross. I don't know if this is my size right now,
It's probably not adjusted to you just yet.
but I'll just wear it tight. How's that sound?
Yeah, exactly.
Crossbody. So I can do.
Let's see, the buckle. Oh, you've got it all tied up. You got it all tied up because the tag's on right now.
I'm messed up, but I can pack my items,
That's right.
roll around. This would be less run for me, right? More kicking
Less
around
run,
town.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah.
Just more cruise around travel. The zipper here, that's kind of what gives it the Spybelt signature, the zipper in the middle.
Yeah.
So we designed this for sunglasses, something fairly small, something you want easy access to.
Yeah. Nice. And one thing that I have not seen before when I've seen you is I see some fueling pieces. So what do we have? I see 2 up here, one on the side.
Yes. So these are also fairly new, but this one we've had for at least a year.
Yeah.
Maybe a couple years. We call this a companion bottle. Companion because this little buckle will let you put it on anything.
Yeah.
And it's just your little sidekick, your companion. You can put on shorts, Spybelt, obviously, or just put it on your waistband and it goes with you. Handheld. When I'm out in Austin, I'm amazed at how many people are actually holding their water bottle or their phone. Like, I want to chase them down. Spybelt, here's a Spybelt for your phone. Stop carrying your stuff. But folks who do like to carry a water bottle and want it secure, we got this handheld right here. That's new. It just came in a couple weeks ago. And our hydration belt.
Kim, thanks so much for having us over here. Meeting Jackie, the sloth.
Yes,
And
Jackie.
hopefully she enjoys her Spybelt.
Yeah, she will.
Cool. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Ryan.
Are you ready for a delicious and nutritious snack that packs a real protein punch? Crack into a good source of protein with tasty, healthy, Wonderful pistachios. Each 1 ounce serving of Wonderful pistachio contains 6 grams of protein, giving you over 10% of your daily value. It's one of the highest protein nuts out there. But that's not all. Pistachios are also known for their fiber and better for you unsaturated fats, which may help keep you feeling fuller longer. And the best part? Wonderful pistachios come in a variety of flavors and sizes, perfect for athletes on the go who want to fuel up with a healthy and tasty snack. Check out wonderfulpistachios.com to learn more about how to power up your day. On the floor at TRE at the Nike booth, and we got a few different shoes to talk about today. Where are we starting?
We're going to start at the top, start with our fastest product, with the Alphafly 3. Yeah.
Fastest shoe in the world? Can we say that?
I think so.
All right.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Why? Tell us a little bit about this thing.
We don't have a new ingredient, but what we really feel like we've done the Alphafly 3 is optimize the system to make it our fastest marathon shoe ever. Kelvin Kiptum broke the world record in it. We've had a lot of other performances throughout the last year as it's been in development that kind of validate it at the very front of the pack. Also feel like the benefits that we built into this one are going to be even more applicable to athletes running 2.5, 3.5, 4 hour plus marathons. So excited about what it's going to do to marathon running as a whole.
The Alphafly franchise,
Yeah.
I mean, little history on it. It really kind of set the stage for what we know today as a fast shoe, right?
Yeah, so we kind of were very proud to have started the super shoe movement. We were way ahead of the curve. We invented it with the Vaporfly. Over time, the Vaporfly has become this really great versatile tool. People use it for training. They use it from anything from 10K, a half marathon, marathon. That opened up space for us to push even further and be more true, more specific to a marathon supreme shoe. That was the birth of the Alphafly. So the 1 and the 2 did really great things. Eliud Kipchoge wore it to break the 2-hour marathon for the first time. Love that. And then for the 3, we thought, all right, how can we improve even further? We like to say we never look back, we always look forward. How can we keep on improving? Athletes told us they wanted better transition, more support, and we also wanted to reduce weight. Weight is always the enemy of speed. So what you'll notice in the Alphafly 3, 1, a more continuous bottom. So we used to have a break between the forefoot and the heel after the AirPods. We went all continuous, which really helps with transition. We also have fleshed out the midfoot a little bit more to reduce some heel or some arch irritation and increase stability. So even those gods like Eliud and Kelvin break down a little bit later in the race, us mortals do it even more so. That stability is going to help you those later stages of the race, all while reducing weight 15%. So this is the lightest Alphafly yet. More supportive, better transition, same energy return, all while lighter weight, which we really feel like is going to help athletes everywhere break their personal records.
But this isn't the only shoe we have today.
No, we got more. Yeah, head down to the trail world maybe.
Let's do it.
Cool.
We're talking fast performance on the roads. I'm feeling like we're a little grittier now.
Yeah, exactly.
Where are we at?
Literally dirtier. So one of the benefits we have when we look across all the different types of runs you could go on, all the different surfaces, is we identify an athlete problem, and then we can pull from different areas to say, what's the right technology to help us solve that problem? So as we've become more and more committed to trail running and serving trail runners, we said we need shoes that can help athletes go 50, 100 miles over super rugged terrain, still feel great. So those benefits were, can it be a lightweight shoe? You don't want to carry anything extra over that long of a distance. Can it give you energy back? Because you need all the energy you can get. And can it feel really soft and cushioned? And when we thought about those problems, Zoom X Foam, like we use in our racing product, really made a lot of sense, but we needed to put it in such a configuration that would work for trails. So what we did is in the Zagama, we took Zoom X Foam. If you imagine a boat, we took a canoe of firmer foam, and then we packed the inside of the boat with Zoom X Foam. So vertically, you get great compression, protection. It's really lightweight, but around the perimeter, you have a protective foam to give you more stability, protect that foam from all the elements, sharp edges on the trail. Runners really gave us positive feedback on that experience in the Zagama 1. They did say, hey, your traction needs to be a lot better. We heard that, we took it to heart, and we partnered with the best in the business in Vibram. So it was a true partnership. They came to campus, to the Nike campus, their designers and engineers, sat with our designers and engineers, took their expertise, their compounds, our design input, and made what we think is the best, most rugged outsole we've ever done, best in the industry. It uses their Mega Grip compound, formulated in a way that complements the cushioning and gives you supreme confidence and security. You're going to have the right grip on the trail.
This isn't the only shoe that we have coming out in 24, is that right?
Yeah, so that's where we have the Pegasus Trail. It can stand up. It's one of the shoes our elite athletes use in their quiver, but if you're just getting out into the trails, it's a great solution for you as well. So for the Pegasus Trail 5, two of the big updates. One, we wanted to make sure we were improving both performance and sustainability. We're hearing from all runners sustainability is a really important factor for them. People who enjoy being out on the trails also have an even more special connection with nature. They want to do right by the planet. But when push comes to shove, they're not going to take an inferior product just for sustainability. So we need to improve both performance as well as our sustainability scores. So we used React X foam. This replaces our previous foam in React. It is 13% better in energy return. So every time you compress the shoe, it's giving you 13% more energy than our previous Stellar React foam. And yet it has 43% lower carbon scores than React. So you're normally looking at single-digit improvements to try to eke out gains in those two metrics. Double-digit, huge double-digit growth feels really good for us. And the durability of this foam has been very highly praised by our wear testers, which also factors into sustainability. You buy less, there's a lower impact. We feel really good about that.
Yeah, and they all blend well with mud, I'm sure.
And once they get dirty, somehow they get prettier. Exactly. Yeah.
So if I'm in Portland visiting the area and I want to get out to Forest Park, I mean, this Peg Trail, is that?
Peg Trail would be amazing.
Yeah.
Well, and Forest Park's a good example of where you might use everything. So Leif Erikson, Peg Trail is a great shoe for that. You get up onto the Wildwood, some of the more extreme parts, I would use a Zagama. If you get there this time of year, you might use the Peg Trail Gore-Tex because you're definitely going to get rained on in Oregon. So wherever you're going and whatever the conditions are, we got a great trail shoe for you.
Cool. Awesome line.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for going through this today.
Thanks, Ryan.
Yeah.
Talk soon.
Yeah. We're here with Tony Macy from Skechers, out on the floor at TRE. And Tony, what do we have here? Where do we want to start?
Let's start on the daily training side of things, and then we can progress over to the speed day, race day kind of stuff.
What do we got here?
Let's start here. This is the Ride 11. So this one has been in the Skechers world going on 11 years, and this is the latest variation. I want to say a pretty big upgrade and change from the 10. We tried to really think about in-shoe comfort, the step-in comfort that a shoe has. So a couple of different things that we tried to build into the shoe that we really feel are different for our brand. So we're kind of known for the supercritical foaming process. We did that about 5 years ago. Now we've taken supercritical foaming and we're doing it in 2 densities. And we're calling it Hyperburst Ice. So the midsole that you see kind of has a cool, call it a glow effect, you could say. So that's to show that you've got 2 different densities going on in the midsole. For people that really need tons and tons of cushioning, we've got the Max Ride 6. So we increased, like we had the 5. What's the difference between the 5 and the 6? Okay, you're getting the same ice effect in the midsole, same hardnesses, but we took the stack height to over 40 millimeters. So this is 42, 36, so a lot of foam. This is for your big guy or maybe somebody that runs a ton of mileage. So this is like our biggest mileage shoe that you could see us make as a brand. You get that same great sock liner and really comfortable foams around it. So this is Max Road 6.
So I guess between these two, from a daily trainer perspective, just getting into it, getting ready for your first race, you're saying Ride 11,
Ride
your
11.
shoe to start.
It's going to be your competitor to a lot of the other brands' great daily trainer. Everybody knows what they are, so this is what our proposition to battle against all the other brands, and that great daily trainer that you can run Ireland mileage in. If you're kind of a middle of the pack kind of race person, a nice middle of the pack shoe to run a big race in too.
And I get more serious, build up my mileage, I might step it up.
Yeah, if you're pounding a lot of mileage, or one of those guys doing 100 miles a week, crazy amount of mileage, this would be, you need this for your body. This is gonna protect you more, gonna help save your legs, make sure you can get out for the next run. Then we jump over to this portion of the wall, and you've got race day. So really this is we call it like a fast training day to race day, and this is the Razor 4. So the big predecessor here was Razor 3, lots of accolades. That was Skechers' first Runner's World Shoe of the Year. EVA-based midsole, this is 100% TPU. So this one different than what we showed earlier, 100% TPU, and you supercritical the TPU pellets, and then you put them in a mold, one mold, and you're done. So a lot different process. Why a different polymer? Why TPU instead of EVA? This has much more resiliency. Here's a really interesting thing. Set this guy back down, grab a midsole part. Those are actually tiny little TPU pellets that get supercritical. Many more of these to make the midsole, but you get the idea. But here's the crazy thing. This is 38C. This is 38C. Press on these two.
Oh yeah.
Do they feel the same?
In terms of firmness, yeah. Yeah, pretty close.
Pretty close, but this one,
it feels like maybe a little firmer.
yeah, it kicks back more.
Yeah.
There's more resiliency to it. So this foam is like in the mid 60s range of resiliency for a daily trainer.
Yeah.
This one, you're getting over 65 resiliency.
Significant.
So it's not a lot, but you're getting an improvement, and just the polymer reaction to your body is a more responsive ride. So if you're thinking of that fast day run, or you're thinking about a race, you want something that's giving back to you more. So that's why we chose to go with TPU. It's trying to give the runner back more responsiveness to make their legs feel better, make the run feel a little bit easier, and so on. Converse to like its predecessor, we raised the stack height on this. We're at, I might be wrong, don't quote me on these. Look into our tech sheet. I think we're at like 32 and 28. Okay. I can't remember all the stack heights, guys. Try to. But a lot more foam than its predecessor, and a much more responsive foam. Then you're probably asking, yeah, but Tony, you said this is training, a little bit of racing.
Quick training, hop in a race.
And then from us, this is what we call our kind of like super shoe, comparative to like some of the other brands out there.
Where I'm setting PRs.
This is where you're hopefully setting PRs. But we'll tell you straight out, it definitely weighs a little bit more than its competition. But our take on this is, if you're gonna run a long race, you need something that's gonna protect you the whole way. So this is TPU midsole, this is our winglet H plate, and then TPU again. So you've got a stack build. With the way we've designed the wing plate, you get a lot of stability with this. So when you're coming down that last 10K of a marathon, this thing's gonna hold you together. As your body's falling apart and your legs are wishing you had stopped, this thing's gonna go, no, my legs are protected. I carried a little bit more weight, but my legs aren't dead. My legs are still alive. The TPU's working for me. So that's our race day proposition. You're at right around 9 ounces with it, 8.9. So it's a little bit more than other guys, but you're getting a lot more protection.
Awesome. Tony, thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, it's great to see you.
Thanks.
I'm excited to be on the floor with Christina Henderson, the event director of all of this, the running event, TRE as we know it. We were just talking, this is your 9th year involved in the event, 3rd year as the event director.
Yes.
What's it like for you in 2023? What was the experience setting this thing up?
I mean, it's been amazing. I love this event. I love this industry. I feel very lucky to have this position. We work really hard. We work all year round to bring this to life. So, you know, it's just really special to see it now come to life.
You're not just an event director of this, convention or conference, however you want to refer to it. Running is also part of you. You ran at UT.
Yep.
I think you just ran a marathon a couple weeks ago.
New York, yes.
So this is very much ingrained into your everyday life.
And I think that's why I'm so passionate about it. I believe in running. I believe in the power of running and what these running stores are doing in their communities. I'm just that much more passionate to be a part of this event and what it represents and what it does for the running industry.
So as you're doing your races throughout the year, you're training, you're on site at other events, what are you thinking about as you're getting ready every year for this at the end of the year?
That's a good question. Our biggest thing is how can we drive value for our attendees, for our exhibitors, for consumers? You know, how can we continue to elevate the experience that people are having here? But even more than that, what are they taking away, right? When they go back to their communities, you know, what did they learn? You know, who did they meet? And, you know, then what does that mean for all the runners that they're serving?
I mean, I got to think that one of the biggest things for you is how many people are here, who's showing up. So 2023, how does this compare to past years?
So it is our largest TRE ever. So the exhibit floor is 79,000 square feet, which is 20% larger than last year. Last year was 20% larger than any other year. So the industry is strong. Brands are showing up. They're building incredible booths to show product. We had about 4,500 attendees, which is nearly 1,000 more than we have ever had. Wow. So again, it just speaks to the strength of the industry, and it's so exciting.
Well, we appreciate being here,
Yeah.
and thank you for the great job you do in putting this thing on. So
Thanks,
we'll see
Ryan.
you back here in a year or two, right?
Yeah, sounds
All right.
good.
Thank you, Christina. Coralie from Kiena, company out of France. You guys are now a 4-year-old company with a product Q1 that launched 3 years ago.
Yes, exactly.
So tell us about this product, the launch 3 years ago, and what brings you to the United States with this today?
Okay, so when I was in my master's degree, I had an entrepreneur class, and we have to develop an idea. And because I was most of my time on the track, I decided to create this product because all my friends as athletes, we wonder why we didn't have a product to walk out of the track, to avoid damage in our back. So yes, I chose the idea, and I had 2 years of R&D, engineer development. So yes, the key one was born in 2021. So I'm glad today to sell the product all around the world, and now we have one goal is to come in US, and this is why I'm here today.
Nice. When I heard about the product, it made me think back to when I was running.
Okay.
You run, you're on the track, you get off, all of a sudden you have to walk on your heels,
Yes.
right? But it's also something I didn't think of until I thought of this, or saw this. So what made that stand out to you as something that needed to be solved for these athletes?
Yes, there is two things. The first thing is that we think about damage the spikes under the spike, the track and field shoes, but the most important thing is to permit athletes to do not have to think about when I have to put off my shoes, when I have to put on my shoes, if I have the time to go to the toilet, to go to the locker room, or maybe in international competition or regional in France. In regional competition, we have some competition. Or you change the track. You are on a training track to go on the competition track, and you walk on several floors, and you talk about the walk, the penguin walk. In France, we talk about the penguin walk, and all athletes, even the best, know this walk. So this is the reason I wanted to create the product, to help my community and just give a solution to an unsolved problem.
Nice. Yeah, when you're timing your warm-up and you like put those spikes on and all of a sudden you have to use the bathroom, you say, oh no,
yeah,
I don't have time.
Okay, the call room is right now, so what I do, so this is to avoid this kind of thing and to, yes, stay focused on what you have to do, because track and field is a really precise sport. We talk about centimeters, about just seconds, so this is the value that I wanted to give to this product.
Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
Awesome to see this product. Makes me want to put on some spikes.
Oh, great.
I haven't been on the track
we
in a while.
We can do a
but I'm
400
ready.
meters right now if you want.
With hurdles?
No, without, please.
I did steeplechase, so
we can do.
Let's go hurdle.
Also. Great. Thank you very
so much. All right, we're here with Jonathan Hyperion from Under Armour at TRE here in Austin, and some exciting stuff coming in January 24, I'm told, Jonathan.
Absolutely,
What's
yeah.
going on? What's here today?
Total refresh for Under Armour run footwear. So we're excited. We're taking the opportunity to restart our line, kind of build a better strategy of silos and how our footwear comes to life, and then how we build that toolkit for runners, and really giving them everything they would need in that 7-10 day weekly training cycle, whether it's easy day miles, long day miles, track day, workout day, and then ultimately race day. And it's all coming together, and we're kicking it off in January with 3 really great new models.
Cool. We have those models here today?
We do.
What do we want to start with? Let's see these.
Let's start with the cream of the crop. We won't pull any punches, right? We'll start at the top. So what's exciting with what's coming in January of the new year is the Velocity Elite 2. It's coming in the new year for mass market and retail. What's great about this is we just really maximized everything from the 1 to the 2. Brought the stack height all the way up to just under those World Athletic minimums. So we're giving all the foam back to the athlete. It's softer, it's more bouncy, has more energy return. And then we really got after the geometry of the plate that's in between the 2 layers of foam. So full length thermoset carbon plate, but it's all about the geometry in the forefoot. We have this kind of really unique ellipsy shape that is like a great rocker, and you could throw it on. Once you have it on, you feel it underfoot. It's remarkable. It's honestly unlike anything else, and that's what we're excited about. We're all fighting for foams and plates, et cetera, in the market, and we're also looking at getting after it with geometry and how we can give that to the athlete.
What's the feedback you've gotten from the athletes so far?
Again, it's the responsiveness and that new rocker sensation. The Elite 1 was a great first super shoe for us as a brand. The step from the 1 to the 2 is just astronomical in feedback. Velocity Elite, like we just talked about, is our speed silo, race day silo. Infinite is our long day, everyday silo. So starting to lead that off, again, as an intro in Spring Summer 24, so just right around the corner, is the Infinite Elite. So again, this is your max long run everyday shoe, super soft. Everything about this silo is plush, soft, luxurious. It feels good. The goal here is to make the last mile feel as good as the first mile. And so getting after that with a max stack height underfoot with our new Hover Plus, which is a TPU bead foam, so full length there. A thin web rubber outsole, so reducing weight where we can, but keeping that protection and durability that we need for traction and the such. And when you get into the upper, full length Intelliknit. So Intelliknit is a proprietary knit within Under Armour. We use it in footwear. We also use it in some apparel spaces. But it's a great knit that allows us to engineer stretch where we need it, lockdown and containment where we need it. So it fits the foot great, but it's soft. It's just nice to wear, right? Plush tongue plus collar foam. So again, this is kind of that everyday long day shoe.
Yeah.
And we're excited to bring this because it just maximizes that stack height for us in a place that, again, you feel as good on the last mile as the first mile, but it's all about that underfoot experience and just passing that along to the runner.
Cool.
So,
and so there's 3 levels of this line.
correct, yeah.
Right?
3 levels within the Infinite, so this is that tip of the spear, and the Infinite Elite. So there's a Pro below it, and then a base model. And so the Pro also comes out in the new year, so you'll get the Elite and the Pro, kind of a 1-2 punch at the same time. And so we can talk about that one next.
Yeah, let's see the Pro.
Yeah. So Pro, so kind of the little brother, little sister to the Elite, but packs a ton of technology at $130 that we're excited about. So we're gonna keep that Hover Plus foam on that top line. So it's a 2-piece midsole. So you're getting a full top line, heel to toe of TPU bead foam. So super soft, super responsive. And then it's carried in just this softer EVA for some stability and just some like innate geometry to it. What's great, again, it's still super runnable, great for those everyday miles. We'll reserve this for the long day, the 18 milers and such, but again, 8 to 10 and those easy like slog and mile days, this is great because it feels good, it's lightweight, and just feels great on foot. Woven jacquard upper with perf holes all the way through for breathability, and again, plush collar lining, plush tongue. It's just all about comfort in these shoes because we know we're going to spend probably a majority of the week in these shoes anyways versus the Velocity silo. So again, everything here is about long-term durability and soft comfort.
Awesome. Cool. Jonathan, thank you so much.
Of course, appreciate
Love seeing
the time.
it.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm here with Erasmo Rodriguez at Tracksmith, and Tracksmith, we're known for some fashionable items. I see a lot of shirts, some apparel, and you guys, I guess a little less than a year ago, jumped into the shoe game as well.
Yeah, so we launched the Elliott, came out in sale about January of this year. It's been doing really well for us. So we launched with 2 colorways. We've got another, shortly after came out with another 2 colorways with our NDO collection. And we're kind of expanding the Elliott, hitting all our core colors and everything over the next couple of years. So
Nice.
we're really expanding that SKU. So
What got Tracksmith finally into the shoe game?
So funny story, the brand was initially pitched as a footwear brand, and they started with apparel to kind of get the brand momentum going. That picked up, did really well. Footwear's been on the mind, and last year they decided, or not, a couple years ago, they were like, we got to get back to the original plan and get back to where we were like founded as.
Tell me a little bit about the technology, the Elliott. I'm a runner. I'm putting this on my foot. What am I going to feel? What am I going to use this for?
So it's a neutral everyday trainer, 33 millimeter stack height with a 9 millimeter drop. It's a supercritical foam Puma insole. What's a little bit different is we put about 10 millimeters thick insole instead of the traditional 3 to 4 millimeters. And because it's a supercritical foam Puma, there's a lot of responsiveness, a lot of pop right underfoot. Because of the way we package it too, it allows us to make it look a little bit more cleaner on the outside, a little bit less technical. It gives it a very lifestyle feel, but there's a lot of technology in the shoe that makes it really runnable and really great.
So if I'm looking to get some miles in, is this kind of my, a couple days a week? Am I looking to go long in this? How do you guys classify?
It's an everyday workhorse. So you're probably not going to do a 20-mile run in this shoe, but you can get, like, I've heard people doing about 10 to 15 miles easy. It'll last for a really long time. I was telling somebody else today that our head of retail out in London was slacking me the other day, saying he had about 600, 650 miles on it. So it's a really versatile shoe. It's going to take you, it'll be a good trip in these shoes. Like, you'll get some miles. Yeah.
Nice. So some runners may be able to find this in a specialty retailer down the road.
Down the road, coming soon. Yeah. We'll have more news on, like I said, everything with Tracksmith and the story. And so we'll be telling that story as it comes up.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Well, thank you so much for walking us through the Elliott.
Yeah.
Great to see it. Long days at TRE, and I am hungry. Just got my trusty Pistachio snacks here. And then time to talk to some more brands. I'm here with Connor Cashin from Puma at TRE.
Yes.
And we're holding something that feels kind of light and fast in my hands, Connor.
Yeah.
What are we talking today?
Yeah, we have the Fast R Nitro Elite 2. So this is an update to one of our marathon super shoes.
So how long has this franchise been out, and what are we expecting in version 2?
Yeah, so we launched with this franchise in 2021. That's kind of when we got back into like high performance distance running. So in the second version, we're really excited to debut a new Nitro Elite compound. So our super foam is called Nitro, and then Nitro Elite is for race day. So we have a new compound that has 93% rebound. It's like 25% more energy return than our previous. So that's really what we're super excited about here. But then not only that, we have this really cool split midsole design where the carbon plate is able to be really aggressive all the way through, extended out through the toe.
Yeah, so when you look at this, just design-wise, one, color pops, right?
Yeah,
the Puma way.
Yep.
But that exposed midsole, very unique to what we've seen.
Yeah.
And then that plate coming out through the front. I'm curious, just give us a little insight on why those designs came to be.
Yeah, exactly. So we figured, we're finding runners with like a longer, more powerful stride are able to really harness a really long, aggressive carbon plate. The split midsole is really just able to give a little bit of visual technology, and also to you'll land on this heel and then be sent onto the forefoot and then propel forward. So it kind of just really increases that like propulsion and that lever effect. The extended plate is really cool. It kind of really just sends you off into the air, kind of lengthens that stride. So we're able to see a lot of great energy efficiency over the course of the marathon.
I have to assume in development you're thinking about like, all right, how can we like shave off weight, all those kind of things, right?
Yeah.
You guys decided the benefit of the extra material
Absolutely.
outweighs any weight.
It does actually, and that's a good point, because to be honest, this one is about 20 to 25 grams heavier than the previous model, but the running economy gains are over like 2%. So just with the combination of the foam and that new plate, we're seeing those gains even though it's a little bit heavier. Yeah.
What's the, when you're going through testing before this hits market, right? What are the athletes saying that are testing this when they see that for the first time?
Yeah, they're a little bit, they're like, I think it's a combination of a couple of things. They're like, are you guys sure about this? But then they're also really excited because they're seeing something different from any other brand, right? So they know that we're pushing limits in different ways that other brands may or may not be. And I think we're basically just taking what we've always done in track and field, the 100, the 200, and the jumps, and then we're just bringing that on to the road for the distance runners, and they're really excited about it.
What's the feedback been so far?
The feedback's been great. We actually have already had a really great stable of women run the Chicago Marathon, and every single Puma athlete who ran in this shoe ran a PR.
Wow.
So we're really excited about
a good
that.
stat.
So yeah, it's a good stat. We're already seeing really good results. We've got one of our marathoners over in Germany, where we're headquartered. He ran 2:08 in it, qualified for the Olympics. So we're super pumped.
So launch date, is this launch? When are we going to see it?
Yeah, so actually we're launching it first, December 8th. So coming up next week, we're doing a really cool launch in Japan ahead of the Hakone Ekiden. So we're really excited to get our athletes in Japan this shoe ahead of the Ekiden. You know, that's such a big deal for them. So we're pumped for that. So that'll launch first, and then it'll launch in a bigger way in February.
Wow.
Yeah.
So I assume we'll be seeing a lot of Puma athletes come February.
Absolutely.
At the trials.
Yeah,
in
at the
this
trials,
shoe.
yeah, you'll be seeing them.
Very cool.
Yeah,
Well, Connor,
definitely.
thank you so much. Very, very cool shoe. If you see a couple go missing, don't worry about it.
Yeah, we'll get you some.
We'll be back in a few
Yeah.
miles.
All right, sounds good.
Thank you so
Yeah,
much.
Thank you, appreciate it.
I'm with Bree Henley from Reebok here at the running event in Austin, and a big running event for Reebok this year.
It's a big year for us. Next year, 2024, is going to be the year of running for Reebok. It all kicks off in April with this shoe that you see here. So this is FloTrack 1. This shoe is almost 15 years in the making.
Wow.
So you remember, we've had zig-shaped shoes back since 2010. The zig shape is the best shape for energy return. You got the energy transfer from the heel all the way to the forefoot. That's been a staple for Reebok. A few years ago, we launched this brand new Superfoam FloTrack Energy. So this is a nitrogen-based, really responsive, really springy, beaded foam. This year, we are putting both of them together, and this creates the FloTrack. So this, you're gonna get really responsive, really springy ride, and together with this rubber outsole, almost acts like an energy band to create the springback effect. So you're gonna feel the propulsion from heel to toe. Best part is, you have all this technology for $130. So this is a great shoe for the everyday runner, the 5K, the 10K runner, even the new runner who's just getting their feet around buying a new pair of running shoes. This is the great shoe for them.
So FloTrack, you say 15 years in the making. It sounds like it's incorporating a lot of history of Reebok plus this new technology.
Yeah, you've got a little bit of the old and what's worked, but brand new technology, and a look that is really classic Reebok. Great. We brought back our Vector logo. We've got a lot of cool style. Next year, we're going to get this on over 5,000 people's feet. Wow. Not just runners, but athletes, artists, musicians, stylists, celebrities. This is really going to be the new look for Reebok running.
Awesome.
So this is the anchor. This is the foundation of the range, launching in April.
And if I'm going to run in this shoe, is this my everyday run?
It's your everyday, your training shoe, a couple miles, 10, 20, 30 miles a week. If you have more of a flatter foot, like I do, if you need more support, more stability, we are also launching in April the FloTrack Semitros. So this is your same Float Energy midsole, your same springback outsole. The big add here is we have this EVA carrier that wraps all along the midfoot. This is going to give you more support, more stability, and kind of keep your ride a little bit more neutral if you have a flatter foot. You also have a little bit more premium materials in the upper, and this is $150. So you got $130, $150 coming in April. But that's just the start. So as we move into the fall-winter season, so as we get into June and July, we are taking FloTrack into the racing world.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is FloTrack X1. So this is totally new. It's going to have a full-length carbon plate. So we haven't had a full-length carbon fiber plate in the range in a very long time. And this is going to give you, together with the zig shape, give you max propulsion. So you've got this rubber outsole. I think you guys have seen a lot of racing product here. A lot of our competitors are in this weight arms race where they're shaving every little piece off the shoe to try and hit a certain ounceage. With this, you're gonna have enough of an outsole to last you through 200, 300 miles. This is gonna last for a few races. It's gonna last through your training. You're gonna get your money's worth out of this shoe. So we have the outsole, we have the midsole with Float Energy, we have this EVA carrier, and you have the carbon plate. And the upper is really nice, lightweight, but durable material. All this is coming in at 9.8 ounces, and you have a 33 millimeter stack height with a 6 millimeter drop.
If I'm looking to race in this thing, what range of races am I able to go?
This will take you all the way up to a marathon. So half marathon, this is a great shoe for that. You absolutely can run a 5K in that, but this is our marathon racing shoe. Anyone we know that's running Boston, we're giving this shoe. We also have in fall winter the FloTrack Adventure. So we saw, during COVID, a lot of people started trail running for the first time, are starting to get into it. Maybe not hardcore trail runners yet, but they're looking for something with a little bit more traction and a little bit more durability. So you have, again, same Float Energy outsole or Float Energy midsole with this brand new outsole that's kind of like a gravel bike. Whereas it's 4.5 millimeters, it's going to give you a lot of traction. But if you're running on the sidewalk or you're running on concrete to and from the trail, it's not going to feel weird. You don't need to pack a few pairs of shoes. And this is $150. So, a lot of the trail product now has just really skyrocketed in price. With this, we have a lot of technology, a really nice look at a digestible price point.
Bree, thank you so much for taking us through the Float Zig. Love it.
Of course. Yeah, we're excited about it. Hope you guys like it.
All right, I'm here with Lauren Campbell from Firefly, Chief Marketing Officer, here in Austin for the running event. Why is Firefly here? Tell us about the journey to Austin.
The journey to Austin. So Firefly is an innovative technology that helps athletes recover faster, and runners have been one of the early adopters for this technology. And we're here to connect with more people, help expand word of mouth, and find new athletes to adopt Firefly.
I'm a runner. I told you off camera I have an injury. I got really excited. I perked up. So I'm curious. What? Tell me more about the product. Like when you say recover faster.
Yes.
I'm dealing with an injury. How is this thing going to help me?
So we're definitely our primary focus is on keeping you healthy and recovered, and the way we do that is by increasing blood flow. So it's hard to believe, but this little device really functions similarly to sequential compression or big compression boots. The purpose there is moving blood in your body, getting fresh blood and oxygen to move through your body, helps your body heal and recover faster. And so the way we do that is there are small electrodes here. We're stimulating the peroneal nerve, which makes, a lot of people look at this and say, oh, is that a TENS unit? The way we're different is we're very focused on increasing blood flow, and we're doing that by stimulating the peroneal nerve.
When I was an athlete in college, I remember sitting on the table, I would hooked up to the stim machine, you get the little electrode current through you. Is that similar to what this does? Or I'm trying to think of layman's terms and as just
exactly. The easiest way I can explain it is we look like electrostim and we function like compression. So we are using an electrical stim current, but in that example you gave, you were really directly targeting a muscle group, and what we're doing is giving you a systemic increase in circulation to help a wide range, your whole body, recover faster by getting fresh blood and oxygen.
Disclaimer, I got to try this a little bit before we did this, so I was excited. And what I learned, and correct me if I'm wrong, the placement of this is the same regardless of what I'm experiencing to get that blood flow where we put it on the leg. Regardless of anything I'm dealing with, that's where that will be located and help stimulate that flow.
So that nerve that we're referencing, the peroneal nerve, really does run from your hip all the way to your toe. And what we're doing is we're activating your foot to function almost like a pump. So once per second, this little electric charge will happen and will make your foot, like what we did before, make this movement. And that movement is going to push blood from your feet all the way back up to your heart. So you truly, whether it's something that you're, in your feet, in your calf, in your Achilles, knee, hip, quad, wherever, I think that's one thing that people will see this sometimes and it sits right below your knee and they'll say, oh, I don't need something for my knee. I need something for, this other body part. And this really will help that part by having the blood get pushed from your feet all the way back up.
When I'm going to get treatment, I'm trying to treat an injury, whatever it might be, one of the factors that always weighs in is cost, right? Yes. And so when I go to an appointment, I know that could be a minimum of $100 every time I go.
Correct.
So I see this, I'm like, man, how much is this going to cost me?
Exactly. So one set of the product that comes in a package like this and has 2 of the devices inside the package retails on our website for $48. You do get 30 hours of use out of this. So on and off, you can break that up into as many sessions as you want. What we see the biggest adoption of is we have a starter pack on our website where we sell 2 packs like this, and additionally, because there's a hydrogel here that conducts the electrodes and also functions as an adhesive, and as you take any adhesive product off, it loses some adhesion over time. So additionally, we have knee straps like this that will hold the device on below the knee and allow you to be fully mobile even when the product isn't as adhesive. So that package for the 2 packs, which gives you 60 hours of recovery, and the knee straps, retails for $99. And that's where we're seeing this as a really affordable, portable, beneficial technology, and I think that's what's enabling us to get so much adoption.
Anything else that we should know about this?
We are FDA approved for 12 and above, so whether you have a youth athlete, a collegiate athlete, you're someone who is leaving that time behind and starting to feel the aging body, we're really able to help everyone feel better and be able to do what they love.
Awesome.
So,
thank you for being here.
absolutely.
It's great having you.
Thanks
Welcome
for
to
having
town.
us. We're excited to be here.
We are here with Becca Bro from Hoka and talking what's ahead in 2024. We have a few products in front of us, all of which, none of which have been released yet.
Yeah.
So what do we have today?
Looking into the crystal ball, the future of Hoka here today, and nice little mix of everything from some daily training shoes on the road to road shoes with plates, all the way to some really awesome innovation on trail.
Love it. What do you have on the right side here? What are we starting
Yeah,
with?
so if we kind of start with everyday mileage, we're really excited about this new shoe called the Skyflow. This launches in fall of 2024. The Skyflow for us is going to be something really nice that sits a little bit in between something like a Clifton and a Bondi. We're bringing a super critically foamed EVA midsole into this one, slightly taller stack heights than something like Clifton, so you can feel a really lightweight, bouncy ride that lasts for a really long time for amazing daily mileage here. Yeah.
Nice. Who do you think is most excited about this shoe?
Me.
You. That's your jam right there.
Yeah.
You've been waiting for the birth of those two.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a great tool for run specialty retailers to have to offer their consumers. I think especially in that space, it's so competitive. And to have something that's like a Clifton Plus almost in the shoe rotation, I think it's just going to be great for any runner looking for a little bit of a softer, bouncier ride from Hoka.
And when are they expecting that one?
This one's going to be in July of 2024.
Okay,
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
What do we got next?
All right, so we're going to get a little bit faster.
Okay,
We're
I'm
still
feeling
talking
it.
about
I'm
like
feeling it.
some
Legs are already
advanced
sore.
foams. Yep. We dabbled a little bit last year for the first time in daily plated trainers with the Mach X. And in fall of 2024, we're going to bring that to life with a little bit more spice with the Mach X2. So the Mach X2, as you see here, is going to feature taller stack heights than the predecessor. And in those taller stack heights, we've packed in even more PIBA. So PIBA is our softest, bounciest, lightest weight foam compound that we use right now. We've increased the stack heights in PIBA in the forefoot specifically, so when you're moving faster at pace for like a longer tempo run, or maybe a fartlek, or maybe just some harder Ks, that you just really feel that race day experience, but in a really stable, daily training-oriented model here with the Mach X2.
So when you've launched kind of a new enhancement to a franchise like the Mach, now Mach X,
Yeah.
what's that early feedback been like?
Yeah, I mean, for us, it's really fun to get the feedback because it either tells us that we're doing what we meant to do and we're right on track, or we need to make some zigs. For us with the Mach X2, the fun things that we heard early on from testers on this shoe, maybe some expletives that I can't say on air, but let's just say the stoke was high behind this one.
All positive
Yes,
expletives.
yes.
I like it. I like it. And then so we moved to Mach.
Yeah,
right?
yeah. So the Mach franchise has been on quite a journey for people who have loved this shoe in the past. Fast, simple, lightweight daily training from Hoka. The Mach 6, which launches this spring, is a really awesome departure for us from some of the previous technologies we've used. We've really simplified that experience of speed here. So instead of a 2-layer midsole with no rubber outsole coverage, we've gone to a single stack of a super critically foamed EVA with the addition of some amazing traction in the outsole here. So you're gonna have our lightest weight Mach to date with more traction, so you have a little bit more trust when you're moving at speed for daily training.
You got something very different on the end here.
Yeah.
and I feel excitement. Why is that? What am I looking at? What am I holding
A lot
here?
of excitement here. So obviously
We're like,
we
move
love
these out of the way
trail.
for a second.
I'm making room. I'm making room. We love trail at Hoka. This is kind of where we were born and raised as a brand. And we're really proud this year because we had the amazing opportunity to watch Jim Walmsley go absolutely dominate at UTMB in Chamonix, France. And the shoe that he wore was a prototype that eventually led us to the shoe here, the Tecton X3. So in fall of 2024, we're going to take all of those learnings from Jim's shoe that he wore in Chamonix and bring that to life for consumers who are crushing some fast trail miles with this one here.
I gotta assume there's some excitement around this.
There's definitely some excitement around this. Jim will say he's very particular, and with good reason. You know, he's putting some insane miles on these shoes. And so some of the things that we learned from him that went into this update, PIBA top and bottom layer, some adjustments in terms of the carbon fiber plate shapes that come to life here, a little bit of an extension of rubber coverage here to protect the PIBA and then make sure you're not having any delam or issues with the outsole. And then in the upper, Jim was really keen on this idea of having an integrated gaiter. So if you look at this knit collar construction, it's going to fit really nice and tight to the collar. You're not going to have any debris that can get it around the ankle. You don't have to add an external gaiter. So a really sleek, simple, race-ready fit that can take you all the way up to 100 miles around Mont Blanc.
Awesome. Becca,
Yeah.
thanks so much for going through this. It's great to see the product. A lot to look forward to in 24.
Yeah, we're excited. Thanks, Ryan.
Thank you. Down on the TRE floor with Shunsuke from Mizuno, talking some new shoes
Yep.
for 2024, and I see we have 3 laid out.
Yes.
So Shunsuke, what do we have first?
Yeah, so let's start from the race shoe, Hyperion Pro 2. Yeah, this is the second version of our super shoes. Yeah, it has good form, it has carbon plate, and it has unique geometry.
Yeah.
So this is a beneficial function, so innovation for the elite runners. So the biggest change from the first version to second version is geometry. More speed, aggressive tune is for the elite runners. Yeah, that is a pro for race day.
So when I see the geometry here, if I just, it kind of rocks on its own.
Yeah, so this is what we researched so many runners forefoot strike. So what is the smoothest landing in the kicking phase in the forefoot strike and the midfoot strike? So then we made this. Yeah.
What is the feedback been so far on?
Yeah, so we did a test with tons of elite runners in Japan, and we got really nice feedback. So we can lessen carpal muscle load with this construction.
Really?
So energy saving for your first half of the race and the final sprint, you can utilize that saved energy at the last sprint. Yeah.
And the athletes are seeing that, they're
Good.
feeling it. Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting.
Yeah, this is a race shoe.
So this is what I'm running my marathon in, half marathon.
Yeah.
Does it go down even to
That's
5K?
right. Yes.
Yes?
Good.
Nice. Okay. What do we have next?
Yeah, next is our speed training shoes, Hyperion Crash 2. Yeah, same geometry we have that, but a little bit low down for the more wider range of speed. Yeah, and the material, so we have our softest and the lightest midsole compound on the top side, and still have plate from 2 to here, and very wide plate we have for the speed training range. So it has carbon fiber plate, and it has fiberglass. So a little bit flexible, but still very snappy. Yeah, that the feeling is good for the training day. It's Hyperion Flash 2.
Yeah. So these are my fast training days?
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
And then there's a very, very unique color wave here that I see.
Yeah.
What do we have in the hand?
Yeah, this is the teaser promotion color. So this is not actual selling shoes.
No one will be able to get that color.
Yeah, and so this is just a mysterious shoes, I can say. Yeah. So it doesn't have any nickname at this moment, but it is coming in next June. Yeah. So I want to say about this shoe is something mysterious, something new running sensation coming from Mizuno. It's on the midsole. Midsole compound is very soft and responsive and lightweight, and this geometry is coming from this. Yeah. So we made first step was making the super shoes. Our next step is bringing that technology and innovation to the daily trainer. So this is our first super trainer. Yeah, it's very stable and lightweight and very soft.
Thank you for walking us through. Really excited.
Yeah.
Excited to know what the name will be and what the colors will be when they come out.
Yeah.
But we really appreciate you talking through it with us.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Down on the TRE floor here at Garmin with Harry Hade and talking latest and greatest Garmin products. And we're at the running event, so for runners specifically, right?
Exactly. Kind of our bread and butter. So I always like to ask the person, like, what are you doing with the watch? What do you need it to do? And so that's usually a good pivot point. Are you someone that's looking for, your basic wellness tracking? Are you more of a dedicated runner? Like, do you really identify with being a runner? And that's where the Forerunner line really shines. Or do you feel like maybe you're more adventurous and go into the mountains, do a lot more hiking, skiing, backcountry stuff? That's where our Phoenix and Epix lines really shine with the built-in topographical maps and everything like that. It's super robust as a product. And so that's where they really shine. So for the wellness customer, the Vivo Active range, we just newly announced, like I said, in September. So it's going to cover all of your basic, running, things like that. It can do a lot of activities, but it really shines in the recovery side. So it's going to be really good for your sleep score, your recovery timer, and really giving you guidance on what you're doing. Is it helping your fitness? Is it hurting it? And so it's a good little tool to help you kind of get through the day as a good product. It also has good tight integration with your phone, and we are platform agnostic, so we work well with iPhone and Android. So as long as you have your phone with you, you're going to see those texts come through. You're going to see those calls pop up. And you can even see images now when they come through on text message for Android only at this time, which is pretty cool. So with the Forerunner line, so like I said, our bread and butter, we've got a kind of a good, better, best story is what we try to tell. So starting at the bottom, we've got the Forerunner 55. So this is kind of your get-it-done watch. It's got good heart rate, good GPS, start-stop. It's going to be the product for someone that really wants something that's no fuss, no thrills. They just want a watch that's going to track the runs and give them basic metrics. As you step up through the line into the 2 series, you're going to get a couple of things. Much more accurate GPS, so it's got multi-band GPS, so super accurate. It's kind of a buzzword now, everyone's got multi-band, but it's really on how you design the antenna and how accurate that GPS actually can be. So various platforms online can show you, which ones are more accurate, which are not, but I firmly believe in the camp that we are, at the top there. You're also going to get triathlon support, so multi-sport, you'll be able to do swim, bike, run, everything like that. And then a lot more of the performance features like your training readiness, which is something we brought in with the 955. And so what that does is it looks at all of your data and basically gives you a score out of 100. It looks at 4 different factors, so your sleep score, your recovery time, your training load, and your HRV status. And basically tells you, how ready are you to take on today? Are you ready to do a hard workout? Should you maybe dial it back or change your training to make sure that you're training correctly? Or you maybe need to dial it back in case you might get injured and stuff like that. So it's been a really popular feature. So that is something you're going to get in the 265. And then moving all the way up to the 965, which is our top of the line triathlon / running watch. It's got a titanium bezel. It's got fully built-in topographical maps, which are routable because it's real maps in the watch. Super cool. You can build your own courses on the device. So if you're somewhere that you're not familiar with, you can make a round trip and say, hey, I want to do 10 miles in any direction, and it'll route you on the course it's created on the watch. These also all have music built in, so you can work with your third party of choice, so Spotify, Deezer, Amazon, and you can side load the music so you don't have to run with a phone, which I know a lot of people do, but I personally never run with a phone. I hate it bouncing around, so I love having Spotify on my wrist. I can listen to podcasts, super handy. And then moving up, if like I was mentioning before, if you're more of that backcountry outdoor adventurer, then the Phoenix and the Epix and Enduro are probably the products you're going to want to look at. They have a really robust build quality, so titanium on the front and the back plate, sapphire display, fully built-in touchscreen. It's going to have all those great mapping features. You've got all of the ski activities, so you can do backcountry skiing. It's got resorts in there. It's got golf. The Phoenix is kind of like your multi-tool, do absolutely everything watch. And then it's also going to have all those performance metrics we were talking about before. So your training readiness, training status, all of the routable courses, coaching.
So on the coaching side, when you're saying it spits out a workout, that'll give you a suggested intervals, pace, all those things based on kind of where you're at in your fitness.
Exactly, or how you woke up that day. Maybe you went out on a bender, got super drunk, and your training readiness is like a 2, well, it's not going to say, hey, we're going to do, you know, intervals. It's going to say, maybe take the day off, or maybe let's do an easy run. So that's where it really shines, is it's really taking all of the data from what you're doing in a day-to-day. So how's your resting heart rate? How's your HRV? And then guiding you with those daily suggested workouts to do what's best for you at that time, to make sure you stay training, not injured, because that's how you don't make progress in your training if you're constantly injured. And so how you can navigate that is that's how you can find success. So
awesome products that we got to see today. We appreciate you walking through this.
No problem.
I think I know what I'm asking for Christmas.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
Harry, my wife's going to thank you for that.
Yeah, I'm sure she will. So it's great to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks so much.
We're in Austin at the Flow headquarters around the running event, and talking with Allison Stelzer from Gale, marketing agency representing Milk Pep. I think of milk, I think of Got Milk, I think of Mustache Milk, right?
Yeah.
But why are you here? Why are you in Austin for the running event?
Yeah, well, it's really cool. It's my first time at the running event, so I didn't even know it existed until recently. But it's really cool because Milk Pep has been working a lot with female runners and putting on a lot of programming to support women runners. So we're here to kind of learn about the industry, see what's new, what are some great things that we can bring to the women who we built a program for. So that's the reason that we were here.
So why the female runner? What was Milk excited about with women's running, and why they wanted to get more involved?
Yeah, so I mean, milk is a great beverage for fueling athletes generally, but they really have a mission and commitment to supporting women. It's really important for women to understand how milk can help support their bodies. So that's just one of the reasons from a product perspective that's who they focus on, but just generally also there's, a lack of recognition for women in sports, and they saw an opportunity to help address that, which is why they've spent a lot of time supporting women in the running community and trying to kind of close the gap in terms of supporting and uplifting and highlighting women in the sport.
Nice. So how has that all come to life? What are they doing? What are the kind of initiatives that are taking place?
So they've built a program called 26.2. And we kicked it off at the New York City Marathon in 2022, and we created a whole kind of VIP experience for women and essentially sponsored them unofficially, but created a sponsorship type experience where we gave them support before the race, during the race, and after the race in the terms of, stretch experts and a cheer section and an amazing recovery lounge and really great swag. So we invited them to participate and join what we're calling Team Milk. It's a community of runners that we're building. And for every woman that joined Team Milk, we donate money to Girls on the Run, which is our main charity partner. And it's a great organization to support young girls who are, it's for wellness and fitness and building that up with the next generation. So it's been an amazing program, and we've continued that since New York, since we got such a great reception. We're back in New York this year, celebrating our 1-year anniversary of Team Milk with over 20,000 runners, which is great. So it's
20,000 runners that are part of
Team Milk.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So it's been great.
So 20,000, the team is built up to. Where are you guys looking to go with Team Milk? And is there a number you're trying to reach in terms of how many women you can impact, or how do you look at it?
We're committed to Team Milk, we're committed to Girls on the Run, and we're committed to helping women on their marathon journey. So we're super excited about 2024. We want to create an event that's for women, by women, that can really help these women achieve the ultimate goal of running a marathon. So that's what we're looking forward to doing next year.
The stories of the women within Team Milk, you said they're 26.2 second story. How can people follow this? How can they see some of these stories come to life?
Yeah, so we have social and a website at Gonna Need Milk is the place where all of our Team Milk content lives. And we have a Team Milk club on Strava. So if anyone's interested in learning more about Team Milk, they can follow us on Gonna Need Milk and look for us on Strava.
Nice. Where will we see Team Milk at the next event? Is there another race on the calendar? New York was the last one?
New York is the last one. I think we've got some runs down in the south in Atlanta next year. We're going to spend some time down there. We actually have one this weekend in Tennessee at the St. Jude's Marathon. So,
very cool.
Yeah, that's a really cool one. So we're kind of plotting out the calendar right now.
Awesome. Well, it's a really cool mission, great causes kind of all around and what you guys are doing with it.
Yeah.
And we're excited to see where it goes this year.
Thank you so much.
Thank
Appreciate
you for
it.
joining, Allison.
Yeah, great.
I'm Jenny Zahn, and I'm here with FloTrack at the running event. And today we're sitting down with Chris Vernari of Athletic Brewing. We're going to talk about some of the great products they have in play. We're also going to talk about just what's going on in the non-alcoholic, low-alcoholic beer space, and we're really excited to get into it. So tell us what's new with Athletic Brewing.
Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I never thought I'd be interviewed by FloTrack, but this is an amazing opportunity to tell your followers about our beer. Athletic Brewing is the largest non-alcoholic brewery in the U.S. We operate 2 amazing breweries in San Diego and Connecticut. All we do is produce non-alcoholic beer. We've won, 5 or 6 dozen awards. Most people take their first sip of Athletic and, think that it tastes just like a full-strength beer, and we love that.
So how do you do that? How do you get that flavor infused in the beer without having all the alcohol? Tell me about that process.
Absolutely. So Athletic was founded in 2017. We launched commercially in 2018. Our co-founder, Bill Schufelt, was actually training for an ultra marathon when he decided to quit drinking for a month and stuck with it. That was in 2013 when he did that. And he was a big craft beer fan and just couldn't find something that appealed to him out in the market. And he thought, somebody should just create an amazing, great tasting, non-alcoholic craft beer. But he had no idea how to make beer. So he started doing a bunch of research, business planning, ended up finding our co-founder, John Walker, after getting rejected by 100 brewers who thought the idea was crazy. Raised a little bit of money, launched Athletic in 2018 after doing 100 trial batches of beer. And John's one and only deal was, we're not launching. I'll come and I'll join you on this journey, but we're not launching unless the product can stand shoulder to shoulder with full strength beers. So they developed a proprietary process, totally reimagined how you brew beer. And that was sort of the base for what we have today. And that process has iterated over the last 5.5 years. And now we just have an amazing brewing team, an amazing quality team that puts out just amazing products all year long. We do probably over 50 different beers a year.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah.
What are some of the top sellers right now?
So right here in front of us are our top 4 sellers. We have Run Wild IPA, Upside Down Golden, Athletic Light, and Free Wave Hazy. I'm drinking our Free Wave Hazy. We launched with Upside Down and Run Wild. Those were our first 2 beers. And they're sold in all 50 states, internationally in Canada and the UK. Available at over 50,000 retailers. We just launched a draft beer program, so in some markets where your viewers might be located, they might be able to find Run Wild on draft. And that's a really, really special experience because there are basically no non-alcoholic beers on draft. We're definitely not on a soapbox or anything as a company. 80% of our customers still drink alcohol. I think generally the trend is that people are kind of reevaluating their relationship with alcohol, and they're really being more selective about the times that they choose to drink. And so Athletic fits into their lifestyle, maybe when they really want a beer at lunch, but they don't want the alcohol, or at a happy hour event when they still got to go home and send some emails throughout the week when they've got family life, they've got family activities to attend to. If you start thinking about when you would actually consume an alcoholic beverage, really 99% of your waking hours you're not drinking alcohol, and 1% of the time you might consider it. And there's this really big disconnect in the marketplace where there's not a whole lot of non-alcoholic options out there for you. And so that was kind of the big unlock for Bill when he developed the company. And I think it fits perfectly well with athletes who are training for marathons, anyone who has any sort of performance-based pursuit, wants to accomplish things, wants to get stuff done. They want to drink a beer, but they don't want the negative effects of alcohol the next day. That's where it fits into people's lives.
Cheers.
Cheers. Thank you very much.
2023 TRE. In the books, We had a blast. We'd like to thank all the brands that showed us around, showed us their product, talked to us for hours throughout these last couple days. It was so fun to see the technology that's come into this industry over the last few years and what's coming out in 2024. We got a few sneak peeks for what's beyond 2024. Some of that you probably didn't see on camera, but we're excited. We'll be back here in Austin next year for TRE 2024. We look forward to seeing you there.